Hi, my name's Amanda. I'm a coach and a channel, and welcome to my series called Guided and Grounded. This is a weekly series where I invite forward the spirit guides to first share a message with you and then take you through an experience of that message. And this tends to be some sort of energy healing component where they take you through this new awareness inside of this message that they want to share, and they help you realize how that new understanding is playing out in your life, in your energy field, how it's affecting your channel, your body, and then they guide you on how to release it so that you can shift your energy in the byproduct, transcend that frequency, and then move forward in a whole new way from there. So the way this works is I close my eyes and I tune in with them and I allow them to just share whatever it is they want you to know today. And the message tends to evolve slowly and gradually on itself as we go. So I'm going to close my eyes and give me a second. I'm going to tune in and I'm going to see what they want to share with us. They're showing me this image of like what it feels like to rock a baby to sleep when you're holding a newborn and you're holding it in your arms. And it's not necessarily crying, it's kind of like a moment of stillness where you're just really enjoying the peacefulness of the experience of holding this innocent little life form in your arms and just feeling this experience of connection and devotion and compassion and realization that there is a bond here beyond anything that you may have comprehended or realized could be there or could be possible. And this feeling of immense unity with this new little soul that entered the world. And even if it's not your child, you're holding this infant and you're just feeling the amalgamation of what life really is and how quickly it moves by and how much each individual moment can be cherished if you allow yourself to indulge in the moment and the experience of it. I Where do you want to go from here? So now they're just focusing on, okay, they're focusing on the physical body now. And they want you to pay attention to the feelings in the physical body that come up inside of experiences like this and what you feel in this moment when you think about having an experience like that. Like the full body effect of a moment of peace and connection and what that feels like. And the contrast that you may realize is there in comparison to what may typically be felt. They're just kind of zoning in on both the solar plexus in the stomach and the heart chakra in the chest, and how in a moment of stillness you might realize like how you typically hold your breath or how your heart is typically palpating much quicker in your chest. And maybe you feel shortness of breath a lot of the time, but you don't fully realize that that's there until you have this moment of peaceful tranquility and your nervous system is allowed to slow down and re-regulate and your whole body just exhales. and what that feels like, the difference in comparison to how you typically feel versus how you feel in a moment of allowing of peace. And they're saying that a lot of the times they're kind of using this analogy of this infant as an example of this, where this moment of peace is cherished a lot of the time because you don't know how long it's going to last. And when you're thinking about an infant, they can wake up anytime and they can start crying, and there's so many things to do to take care of them, to take care of you. And it can oftentimes feel stressful and anxiety-inducing and exhausting. And this moment of peace, it's like you want to soak up every second of it because you don't get those moments very often. And there's this almost like anticipation of the moment coming to an end that like it's like I don't want this to end. I want this to last forever. I'm gonna take it in and soak it up as much as possible so that I can um, e- enjoy it while it lasts, kind of thing. And they want you to notice that as soon as that thought comes in, this thought of, oh my God, I have to enjoy this because it's not going to last. As soon as that thought enters your mind, you're already being pulled out of it. You're already anticipating the next moment of peace being taken, peace being removed. And because you're in anticipation of that, perhaps in fear of that or dreading that, you're already one step removed from fully sinking into this moment. And they want you to notice how the moment didn't change, but your anticipation of the next moment or what can transpire inside of this one created a different energy inside of it because you are no longer experiencing it in the same way. So you may notice as soon as that thought pops in of, I have to enjoy this for as much as possible because I don't know how long it's going to last. And any second, this piece can be taken from me or removed, and I'm going to have to get up and do something and deal with it. They want you to notice the physical changes that take place in your body as a result of that thought. The moment didn't change. Nothing inside of the experience shifted other than you. You shifted. And because you shifted your energy, your experience of the moment has changed. And you are now living inside of a different experience or reality altogether, is what they're saying. And that is what they want to bring forward today is how often we do this to ourselves, how often we don't allow ourselves to fully anchor into a moment of tranquility and peace and love and joy and connection because we're so afraid of losing it. We're so afraid of it being taken from us or not knowing how to sit in that stillness without worrying about it or worrying about the next moment, that we don't fully allow ourselves to experience it in the way that we actually want to because we sense a discomfort in lowering our defenses to it. Can you explain that a little further? If you don't have your guard up, even just a little bit, then you fear that this pain of the moment being ripped away from you is going to um, be harder than bracing ever so slightly for that happening. And it's the anticipation of that happening that allows you to feel a sense of safety, that surrendering to the moment or allowing yourself to just fully embrace the moment without that guard, that anticipation of it being taken or removed, um, feels a little bit destabilizing. Um, and they're saying that this probably comes from a childhood experience where you had that happen to you, where you were like fully living inside of this moment and somebody shifted it or changed it or removed you from it, or um, you were let down in some way because you didn't anticipate something. And this is how you have adapted in order to make sure that the threat of that experience, of that removal of the joy, of the peace, of the relaxation, cannot happen again um, without your knowing of it. Like that you won't be caught off guard or caught by surprise again. And so they just want to highlight that you're doing this as a protective mechanism to protect you in some way from being caught off guard. And what? And they just want you to demonstrate that it's a lovely way that you have adapted to your surroundings. You probably experience a lot of internal turmoil and chaos regularly. And a lot of that is a defense mechanism that you have built up over time in order to make sure that you are not caught off guard and that you are protected, you're in control, and you are navigating your way through life in a way that feels empowering. And they recognize that and they want you to see that too, that this is all something that you have developed as an incredible way of adapting and thriving in this fast-paced world, and in a way that best suited you when you learn to do this. And they just want to invite you into an understanding of this aspect of you and an awareness of how it shows up for you and an opportunity to transmute that adaptation or defense mechanism so that you can fully surrender into a moment without feeling the vulnerability in doing so, that it no longer feels threatening to the nervous system to fully let go. And in time, you will develop an ability to do that um, in a way that disallows from your external environment from invading into that personal space. And you will be able to enjoy pockets of time more fully as a byproduct. And they're just saying it's a gift of your own frequency that you will understand um, the possibility of this and being able to provide it to you if that's something that you want. Okay, what else do you want to say about this? They want you to, throughout this experience that they're going to take you through, they want you to feel into the level of discomfort that arises when you're being asked to enjoy the quiet and the ease of the experience. And if you pay close enough attention, you will notice that there is a very small bit of discomfort present. And they're saying that if you don't notice it's there, it doesn't mean that it's not. It just means that you're not yet aware of the full presence of it. And they want you to continue practicing. And over time, you will develop a sensitivity of your own energy, of your own frequency, and you'll be able to identify the minutia inside of it and recognize these different parts of you when they're at play in that much more vibrance, with that much more vibrancy. Amazing. Okay, where do you want to go from here? Okay, they want you to ground into this experience. So Do you want them to get comfortable? Okay, they're saying as comfortable as they want to be. So this is an opportunity to get quiet and experience the energy healing portion of this guided and grounded experience today. So this is a time for you to pause this video and come back to it when you have the space and time to get quiet. So if that's you, if you're back or if you're here and you're ready to go, I want you to, they're just saying like, put all of the technology away. Put all of the distractions away and find a quiet and cozy spot wherever you can to wherever they're saying like a quiet and cozy spot that you typically turn to for a moment of peace. So like a space that you feel very comfortable in, a space that allows you to feel like almost sleepy. That's how comfortable you find it. You associate that space with comfort and with relaxation. Um, and in knowing that it is here that you can fully like let your guard down. And they're wanting you to close your eyes, and you can do this sitting or lying down in whatever position feels most comfortable for you. And they're just wanting you to take a big deep breath and fully exhale all of the tension in your body. Just fully letting it go, fully releasing it. And doing that one more time, big deep breath in and fully exhale all of the tension in your body, letting it all go. And they want you to focus on, they're saying the rhythms and the sensations and the tensions in your body. You're going to notice that the more you pay attention, the more you're going to feel the different systems at play here. So they're saying the energy system, they're saying the physiological system, and they're saying the system of the mind. Um, and first, they want you to they want you to make the association between the mind and the body because they are connected. They're saying that every thought that you think is going to elicit a physiological response, because that's the interplay that takes place inside of our bodies. And that is the joy of having this physical experience, is that we get to experience the mind through the physical world. Love it. And so every thought that comes up inside of your mind is going to have a physical response attached. And they want you to witness how that's true. So they want you to think about a time throughout the day where you experienced something frustrating or stress-inducing and focus on it for a moment. And just allow all of the thoughts about that experience, annoyance, frustration, guilt, shame, all of that to rise as you like witness this scenario unfolding and just like all of your thoughts about it. And really now pay attention to your body. Like take a scan of your entire body and notice where you might be holding tension without realizing. Are your fingers slightly tense, just letting them go? Are your toes slightly curled, letting them go? Do you feel like a knot in your stomach? Or do you feel like your butt cheeks clenched? Just letting it all go. Is your throat like slightly tight, or is your jaw slightly tense? Or do you notice like a different rhythm of the heartbeat? And they just want you to start to notice the interplay that takes place here and now letting it all go and coming back to this present moment and thinking about the story of you holding that infant child, even if it's not yours, even if it's just in your like an imaginary experience of holding this like beautiful infant and it's sleeping peacefully in your arms, or it could even be like a loving pet that you might have, holding it in your arms, feeling its warmth and its softness against your skin, and just like being present inside of a completely different experience and noticing the interplay now between the mind and the body. Are the sensations in the body different? And do you notice maybe a little bit of resistance and fully releasing the tension that has built up from the previous imagined thought? And how the more you focus on it, the more you realize it's there, and the more frustrated you get that it's there, and the more difficult it is to let it go. And just kind of like feeling into these different areas and sensations in your body, areas that are holding tension, areas that feel a little bit, they're saying over time, you're also going to be able to recognize your energy and how it's vibrating. And you're going to feel like a little bit of like a higher vibrational kind of frenetic energy when there's tension. And you're like, your whole energy is going to feel like lighter, or they're even saying like like softness is going to kind of sh come to the surface when you can fully relax. And right now, this is just an exercise of an observation. That is the first step here in learning how to recognize your energy and shift it. And they're saying all that's required is the willingness to do so. Again, it's the interplay between mind, body, and frequency, and acceptance is the way, they're saying. Um, what do you want to say about that? They're just saying that that is ultimately the goal is acceptance. It's through acceptance of the experience that your energy will surrender to it, but that is a later lesson. Right now, the focus is just on the experience of what's here and noticing that if you're feeling frustrated or bored or anxious in any way, that this is taking too long or want to get to the point or whatever it is, that one, just noticing how that thought is affecting your body, and also recognizing how difficult it is to allow peace. If you came into this experience wanting to understand how to access that, that in this moment you're being given an opportunity to, and it's maybe feeling a little challenging to fully get there. And if you are there right now, and if you are in this beautiful experience of peace, taking an inventory of what that feels like an energetic blueprint. What does this feel like, and what was required of me to get here? And how can I enjoy this for as long as possible without worrying about what it's going to feel like when this meditation is over? Because ultimately, it doesn't have to be. You can take this experience forward with you if you really wanted to. And you get to choose that. Just coming back to this energy. Coming, what does this feel like again? Oh, yeah. Exhale, let it in. And they just want you to begin to play with this. Begin to play with your own mind and the relationship between your mind and your body and your energy, recognizing which thoughts bring on which sensations and which sensations create which experience. And ultimately, it's up to you to dictate what you want the experience to be and what thoughts and feelings are required to get there. And you get to play and you get to experiment and you get to uncover the nature of your own existence, which is your interpretation of what's here and your desire for what's they're saying here. They're pointing to their chest. Really, really, really beautiful. Anything else you want to say to wrap this up? They're just saying they've enjoyed this experience with you immensely and they encourage you to continue playing. And if you're ready to deepen this practice, that you know where to go, you know who to reach out to. And it is possible to continue expanding your awareness of this. And it's just about experimentation and the willingness to explore. Love it. I love it. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And if this is work that you want to continue doing, just reach out to me. You can go to my website, amandalaurenblau.com, and you can find out how to work with me. And I work with clients in a one-on-one capacity and in group settings. And it's this activity of recognizing which thoughts are creating which reality for you and learning how to shift them. That's kind of what I do. And I'm open to answering any of your questions about how that works if you feel aligned in reaching out to me. So thank you so much. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to watch more of these, and I'll see you next week in next week's Guided and Grounded. Have a great week. Bye.